The Cowboys offense struggled big time in Sunday's 16-8 loss to the Panthers. Dak Prescott didn't throw a touchdown pass, and the offense didn't score a point until the fourth quarter. The lack of offense led Troy Aikman to be critical of the team while he was calling the game. And yesterday, Stephen Jones defended his team. Let's take a listen.
I just think at the end of the day, everybody can play armchair quarterback and point fingers after the fact. There were some plays out there that we could have made. I do think we've got to figure out how to get in rhythm. You know, when you're using 6 receivers, you've got to make sure everybody's in there for what they do best. And I think that's a little bit of a work in progress. But I think it's unfair right now to point fingers at a specific, whether it's play calling, whether it's Dak, whether it's our receivers. I just think we've got to do a better overall job of executing. And I think this thing will come together. We've got good leadership on this team. I know everybody's going to be ready to go back to work.
Okay, Shannon, does he have a point?
No. Skip, if you don't mind me, I want to ask you a serious, honest question, Skip Bayless.
Uh-oh.
What is harder, to play real quarterback or armchair quarterback? Troy Aikman played real quarterback.
Real quarterback.
Steven,
Yes.
you should know that.
Yeah.
Second of all, his second job is to analyze what he's watching. In the last, let's just say for the sake of argument, Skip, the last 3 years, how many Cowboy games do you think Troy Aikman has called? Now, if anybody knows what this offense looks like or what it should look like, I would probably defer to, as opposed to any other analyst, Troy Aikman.
Sure.
First half, they ran 22 plays for 60 yards, had 4 first downs. This is what we've been saying for the last couple of years. No imagination. In the last 9 games, Dak Prescott's last 9 games, 7 of them, he's thrown the ball for under 200 yards. You think Troy just pulled this out of the air? How many game films did you think Troy Aikman has actually sit down at his table or wherever in his office and broken down Cowboy? Broken down the Cowboy, Skip. He's probably watched, I would say conservatively, 50 games of the Cowboys breaking down tape.
Sure. And he lives in Dallas, so he just gets bombarded by all things Cowboys. But go ahead.
Okay. He does his job. He's being an armchair quarterback. He heap praises. He's being a homer. So how does Troy win?
It's a tough one.
Because he's a god. I mean, he and Roger Staubach are gods because they won Super Bowl as quarterback in the Dallas uniform. But Skip, he's being honest. Even you go like, well, everybody say, well, I don't see any imagination. Turn around, hand the ball to Zeke. Zeke gets stopped on first and second down, throw the ball on third down, incomplete, run off the field. Where's the imagination? Scott Linehan has never had imagination, Skip. This is always who they've been. Go back to 2014 and come forward. DeMarco Murray running the ball down the hill, the offensive line overwhelming you. One-on-one coverage, throw the jump ball to Dez Bryant. Now Zeke run the ball downhill. You don't have Zeke. You don't have receivers. What are you supposed to do? And Troy's looking at it like, I don't see no imagination.
Correct. So if Stephen Jones was pointing his comment just at Troy, that was way out of bounds because Troy was actually just matter of fact. He was completely fair and totally objective. And I didn't think he was overly negative at all. He was just saying what he was seeing.
I don't see any
what everybody was seeing.
Right.
Okay, so I got no problem with that. I don't think Stephen was pointing directly at armchair quarterback Troy. I think he was doing it at armchair quarterbacks, plural. Everybody on Monday morning, all the Monday morning quarterbacks want to overreact. I'm back to what I told you to start this show, that when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, most people are over the top, over the edge, overreactive to Cowboys' losses as opposed to wins. Either way, it can go whoosh, whoosh.
They go to the Super Bowl, they win.
Yep, you got it. So they lost 16-8 in the offense, at least for the first half, looked inept. It looked a little better in the second half when it had 172 total yards to Carolina's 84 yards. Not bad. So back to Stephen Jones. I liked the point he was making, other than if it were aimed at Troy Aikman, because the point was correct. I'm going to go back to what I also told you to start the show. Ezekiel Elliott had not played in a football game for 252 days. And the quarterback, Dak Prescott, had not played in a football game for 3 weeks and a day. He played 39 snaps in the preseason total, while that guy up in Foxborough, that 41-year-old, had 69 preseason snaps. 69 to 39, except Dak Prescott is working with all new receivers. So Sunday at Carolina against that front seven, heck, that front 11 for that matter, they're hellacious good, especially at home. You can't experiment on the fly with new receivers against that defense.
Right.
It's going to take time. And in the second half, I started to see little glimpses like, oh, maybe that could work. Maybe Cole Beasley had 7 catches for 73 yards. Maybe Zeke can run those little inside reverse handoffs off the shotgun. Maybe that will work if you sweep him off right, left tackle.
Right.
Maybe that'll work. Maybe Dak running the read option. Maybe that'll work. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe Deontay Thompson can get open here or there. What does he do best? Well, they don't know, because it's one thing, as you well know, to throw against air in camp practice.
Right.
It's real, man, and it is tough, and they are hellacious good at home. So you're trying to figure it out on the fly, and it didn't work. It didn't work like everybody hoped it would work, and you're all new. All those receivers are new, and now I'm going to bring up this. What did Bill Belichick have the guts to do yesterday? I don't know. I'm pretty sure Brady is in his ear saying, I just don't love my receiving corps, because obviously they don't have Edelman. That they've lost countless receivers, right? Amendola's in Miami. I can go right down the list of all the people they tried in the offseason. And what did Belichick do? On Monday after the season opener, he says, I'm going to go get Corey Coleman, who got run out of Cleveland. Think of Corey Coleman's path. He's the star of the first Hard Knocks with his sneaker collection, right? Yeah. And then he winds up at the end, play me or trade me. And they just dump him. They dump him to Buffalo, and Buffalo cuts him. And now Bill Belichick says, oh, watch this, because he only ran like 4.3 at the combine, like he can fly. Sure. Okay, so why didn't Dallas go get Corey Coleman, who grew up in Dallas, went to Richardson High School right there in North Dallas, not very far from where they practice? Okay, why didn't you do that? They added Benny Fowler yesterday in New England. Well, what's going on there? And guess what? Who did I love last year? Who did I say was Dak's favorite receiver last year? Bryce Butler. Mm-hmm. He got his money to go to Arizona, and then what happened on the final cut? He got cut. Yeah. He went up and tried out for the Raiders before the season opener, and he's still on the market. Well, to me, can you swallow your pride and say, well, maybe Bryce Butler would make Dak feel a little more comfortable,
but Skip,
right?
Skip, this isn't just one game. We saw this last year, and every question that we had, Dallas, we said this, Dallas is devoid of playmakers on the outside. What happens if Zeke can't get it going? Then what?
Okay, well, they abandoned Zeke in the first half, which was shocking to me.
Right.
Because, again, I'll say it again, he did not look sleek and explosive like I was led to believe he was looking in camp practices, right? He looked not quite in shape yet. Does he have to play his way into shape? Well, just hammer him, pound him. He's the classic case that he's going to get stronger the longer the game goes on.
He definitely should have had more than 15 carries for the game. He normally has, you should probably have somewhere between 10 and 15 carries in the first half. Because for them to be successful, Skip, he's going to have to run the ball 25 times a game.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
And Dak needs to do what you ridicule him of. He needs to Dak and dunk.
Right.
That's what I thought. All these new guys, you still have Cole Beasley and you still have T. Will and Michael Gallup and Hearns and Deontay, but Dak and dunk. Bing, bing, bing. Just do what they do best. Little quick option routes. You just get them up. Just ball control. He was dropping back. I know they're in the shotgun, but it's the equivalent of 7-step drops, like hold the ball until K1 Short is all over you. That's what's going to happen.
But Skip,
6 sacks.
At some point in time, even Brady, where he spreads the ball around, he can get chunk plays with Gronk over the top, Hogan over the top. At some point in time, that dinking and dacking is good. You get a first down, you keep the chains moving. But it's going to be hard to methodically every single drive.
Brady doesn't have Zeke. He doesn't have that.
Exactly.
That guy's a weapon.
Exactly.
He's got to be hot and in shape, and he's got to be rolling.
Hey, all I'm saying is that you knew your quarterback and your receivers hadn't had a whole lot of playing time together. Because everything you do in the preseason, Skip, is leading you to game one. I mean, we started.
I can't defend it. They said, let's just be healthy at the expense of chemistry, at the expense of, flow and rhythm. And nope.
I don't know how they did it. But the last preseason game 4 of the preseason, Skip, the starters weren't going to play. We were running plays against that we were going to run in the first game against the team that we're going to play.
I don't know.
That's how we were thinking. Everything we had done up until that point in the preseason was getting us ready for game one. That was our thought process. You're not going to play Dak. That makes it seem like Dak got like 13 years in the league and he's been with these receivers for 5 of them.
What?
Come on.
Because I must admit, as I looked at for the other debate that we did about Dak last year at all these good QBR games, Well, the primary targets in every game that he had a high QBR was Dez Witten, Dez Witten, Dez Witten. Well, okay, you got to start over, man. I don't know.
Somewhere. All right, we're going to leave it for now. We're going back to this. Who's the best quarterback in the NFL? Radio Rogers, Rod Woodson is